Well, we begin tonight with a potential roadblock on the road to ratification in the United Auto Workers tentative deal with General Motors. The record contract that ended a 6-week strike against the automaker is not getting as much support as expected. We thank you so much for joining us tonight for 7 Action News at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Now, workers at several GM assembly plants, including Flint Assembly that builds popular pickup trucks, have voted against the agreement. Right now, the UAW's website shows 54% of members approving the deal, with 46% rejecting it.
And now the fate of the proposed contract could come down to one major plant in Texas. 7 Action News reporter Darren Cunningham shows us where that vote stands and why so many workers are voting no.
Factory Zero here in Hamtramck voted in favor of the deal. Workers at the Arlington, Texas Assembly plant voted in favor as well. That vote came today, but we're learning many more senior workers are on the other side of the fence.
I voted no.
Darren Dillard says he voted no on the tentative deal between the UAW and General Motors because it doesn't go far enough for workers who are close to retirement. He's worked for GM for 27 years and says he hasn't gained anything in any contract since then.
This whole over the life of the contract thing, that's what kind of irks me. So you will spread it out. And again, those of us that are close to retirement won't really even get the benefit much from it. I really want something to where I know my family will be more stable in retirement.
Wayne State University business professor Merrick Masters says the vote amongst GM workers was split almost evenly nationwide prior to the vote in Arlington, Texas today. He says the Arlington Assembly plant yes vote could be enough for the contract to reach overall approval. But at the same time,
you can't take anything for granted. And I think the union has to continue to make its case.
If the contract fails to get approved, the professor says the UAW has a number of things to consider, including whether to call a strike. And if that happens, should the strike be company-wide or just a select few plants? Also, what does this mean for Stellantis and Ford if the UAW heads back to the bargaining table with GM and improvements are made?
They've got a situation in which the two other companies will have approved of the contract. The contract is basically the same across the four companies on major issues. And if it were to go back to GM and get improvements, I can think that the workers at the other companies are going to want those same improvements as well.
Yeah, I mean, if they vote yes, we go to work, we do the best we can, and then hope the best for the employees that are still there when it comes time for the next contract.
The voting deadline is 4 p.m. tomorrow, with an announcement expected to come Friday. In Hamtramck, Darren Cunningham, 7 Action News.
We want you to stay with 7 Action News for continuing coverage of the tentative agreement between the United Auto Workers Union and General Motors. For the very latest updates on the road to ratification, make sure you visit our website at WXYZ.com. Mike?